Onto this now, the ANC is expected to conclude its three-day NEC meeting today. It met ahead of the December elective conference. Members remain divided on pertinent issues, including the Phala Phala saga. Now, President Cyril Ramaphosa is expected to give a closing address this afternoon. Our senior reporter, Aviwe Mtila, is watching all of these developments from the sidelines for us, and he joins us live from there now. Aviwe, thanks for joining us. That news of the President making those closing remarks coming through just a short while ago. Issues around the President also said to have been centre stage in this meeting this entire weekend as well. How was the news met of the President then making these remarks later on this afternoon? Did it come as a surprise? And what is being said sort of below the radar about what's expected to come from the President's address?
Good afternoon, Marcel. And the indication that the President is speaking at 4 o'clock, giving those closing remarks, suggests that a lot of those issues have been ironed out. A lot of those reports have been tabled, and a majority of them, of course, have been accepted and dealt with. We do understand if what we are hearing is to be believed, that the President has not been asked to step aside, given that Phala Phala saga, as well as Mzweli Mkhize not asked to step aside as well, heading to the elective conference that sits just over a month from now, 16th December to 20th December. That's the conference, of course, that will elect the top 6 structure of the ANC, as well as the 80 NEC members that are the highest decision-making body of the party in between the conferences. Of course, we know the last NEC that was elected was back in 2017, which now sits for the final time ahead of that conference. So the state capture report has already been delved into here. The integrity report has already been delved into here. Now we understand the last time in about an hour from now they were dealing into that renewal report. But of course, the other issue that we do know the ANC has asked the members that have been nominated is that financial disclosures. All of those that are gunning for positions heading to the elective conference have been asked to disclose their financial status, and the majority of them, if not all of them, sit in the NEC, and they were inside. In fact, it's an issue that I touched with the national spokesperson of the ANC, Phala Phala, on how that financial disclosure issue has been received by the NEC members. This is what he had to say.
We must commend those whose names have been raised for them to contest for positions. Cadres that needed to really make those voluntary declarations have already done so. We commend them for such. This is not names of who declared and who did not declare. It's not for public consumption. But we must thank cadres of the ANC to have really taken that exemplary stand to do what the organization requires of them. This is discipline at its best, and for that we commend them.
Now, Aviwe, all eyes are, of course, on December and the elective conference taking place then. But there's the small matter of the Free State and the Western Cape still having to have their elective conferences. Any news coming out of this gathering this weekend about if there are going to be any issues with those being able to wrap up by the time the December elective conference comes along?
The 2 outstanding provinces that are yet to hold their provincial conferences. In fact, it's an issue that I touched with Mkolisi Tukwana in the Free State, who is the convener of the PTT, who suggests that the majority of their branches, more than 70%, meet the threshold they've set for their BGM. So the conference itself, the province, I beg your pardon, itself, will head then to the elective conference. But we do understand that they will, in fact, hold their provincial conference on the 25th of November. That's coming from Mkolisi Tukwana. But a bit earlier on, I did speak to Phala Phala as well, just to get an understanding if these 2 provinces that have yet to hold their conference will have any bearing. And he suggests that that will not be an issue. The branches will go individually into the conference, even if the provinces themselves are yet to hold those conferences. But we do understand also from Phala Phala that at least more than 90% of the branches have, in fact, sat down for their BGM. So it's all systems go ahead of the elective conference, expecting around 6,000 delegates at Nasrec from the 16th to the 20th of December. 4,200 of those delegates will be the one, in fact, that decide the leadership that will steer the African National Congress for the next 5 years. A crucial leadership, in fact, Marcel, given that it will be the one heading to the 2024 elections. And, of course, that call for generational mix will be a contentious issue, because given that the names that we are seeing are the names that we've seen previously, the old guard, if I may say, that have led for the majority of the last 28 years, where we're seeing a different political dynamic and the demographic of the country in its own, which is a younger country that needs young leadership to steer the country forward.
Okay, keeping an eye there for us on proceedings in Nasrec. ENCA senior reporter Aviwe Mtila.